Come in from the highway up here by the big house over here.
I came in down from the highway.
From the highway.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you've seen all that wood out there.
I did.
Well, that's the reason I'm known as a wood man.
You're known as a wood man. Well, this is Mr. Neil Moore, and we're interviewing him today. Today is June the 6th, 2007, and Mr. Moore is 85 years old, be 86 in on July 3rd, and he's going to tell us stories. He's distantly related to the founder of Mooresville, Franklin Moore, and he's going to tell us all about living in Mooresville and his experiences. So thank you, Mr. Moore. And first of all, talk about John Franklin and how you were distantly related to him.
Well, now that I don't know, because just what's on that family tree is all that I can tell you.
Okay.
But I do know that his brother went to Indiana and established Mooresville, Indiana, and my grandfather and grandmother went out there with him and stayed for 12 years, and since all of her children and kin people lived around Pinehurst down in Moore County, she got homesick, so they come back.
So it was John Franklin Moore's brother that established Mooresville, Indiana.
Yeah.
Okay. And of course,
that's what I've been told.
And of course, John Franklin established Mooresville, sold the land for the depot.
Yeah.
Okay, so your family moved back to Moore County, and you were raised in Pinehurst area. And how did you end up coming to Mooresville?
Following construction work.
You were in construction work, okay, and you went to work for Mr. Barger.
Yeah, I went to work with him, and I traveled for him, and then I got a write-up about what a consistent builder I was, and I went to Mooresville, to New York, to build a Westinghouse building in New York, and just had one city block. That's all we had. You couldn't park. No, you had to park on the property you was working on. You couldn't park on the streets.
So you built that was in New York City.
That's what I supposed. That's what I went up there for, and I just didn't like it up there, so I come back.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to. Down the Panhandle and went to work with a contractor down there.
Panhandle of
Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, I was an assistant vice president of Dyson Company, and it's one of the largest concrete and reinforcing company in the southeast at that time.
So, but after that was when you came to work for Mr. Barger, or did you work for? How did that work?
Well, that was after I left John V.
Okay.
He went bankrupt.
What were some of the buildings that you built with Mr. Barger?
Practically everything around Mooresville.
Well, give us some examples. A lot of people don't even know who John V. Barger was.
Well, I built this strip mall out here, from one end to the other.
Strip mall out on...
Right out here.
Okay.
You know, it was what was it? Rose's store.
Oh.
And they tore it down and then built that food store out there. There's been a whole lot of changes.
And didn't you help build some nuclear plants?
I helped build a McGuire, and I helped build a Catawba, and I supervised on that down in Oconee, and then I helped build that underground plant at Bad Creek.
Mm-hmm.
It's 1,000 feet straight back in the mountain, and 800 feet straight down to where we were working.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Tell us what it was like living in Mooresville during that time.
Well, I don't know because I didn't stay here.
Oh, you traveled a lot.
I had to go where the work was.
Mm-hmm. So you traveled around a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I come back. I had been gone. I don't remember where I was. I think it was in Texas. But I come back and I knew kids, you know, that rock out there that broke crushed stone on the railroad track.
Mm-hmm.
They busted out every one, every glass in all these windows across here. See how that ceiling looks?
Mm-hmm.
So there wasn't no windows up there and it rained it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I come out here. I was having to stay somewhere when I'd come to Mooresville. I had to have a place, you know, at least spend the night. And I stayed with I kept a room rented in the second store of Ms. McLean's up around Broad Street. And that's where I stayed most of the time. And I come by here and there's a sign up out there in front that said house for sale. And so I come out here and talked to them. I asked them what they wanted for it. And they said $10,000 cash. And I said, well, I'll be back in just a few minutes. And I went out and talked to John V. I said, I need some help. And he said, I'll help you if I can. I said, I need a check for $10,000 now. So he wrote me a check for $10,000.
He certainly was generous, wasn't he?
No, he just had a good superintendent. As my daddy says, if somebody's patting you on your back, you better watch it because they're looking for a soft place to stick a knife in.
Okay, so how long did you work for Mr. Barber? Until he went bankrupt, right?
Until he went bankrupt.
Yeah. Okay.
But I was one of the lucky ones. He paid me every cent that he owed me. And the rest of them, they had to settle with the bankrupt board.
Is there anything else you want to tell us about?
That's about all except what I've done with Nuclear Regulatory Commission.
What'd you do for the Nuclear Regulatory Commission?
I was boss.
You were the boss.
Yeah.
What was the purpose? What is the purpose of the Nuclear Regulatory Commission?
Well, nuclear generation.
It regulates the generation of nuclear energy, right?
Yeah, it's plants.
Uh-huh.
McGuire and Catawba.
Uh-huh.
And that down in South Carolina.
Uh-huh.
It's the most economical way to generate electricity. It's even cheaper than water.
Mm-hmm.
Because it generates so much faster. But I went to work with Dyson, and he said, I've heard some good things about you. And he said, if you join our company, I want you to make it permanent. And I said, well, that's what I intend to do. He said, well, as long as you work with us, he said, I don't want you to spend 1 cent of your money. He said, even if it's just a pack of chewing gum, put it on my tab. And so I worked with him. I was 53 years old, and I thought I was old enough to retire and fish the rest of my life. And then when I come up here and started working with Duke Power, and I went down there, and they told me that I couldn't go down on the job site because their insurance didn't cover nobody except employees. They said I could go up to the Vista Center and view it from up there, and I started back out to that car, And I just happened to think, now my mom and dad didn't tell me what I could do and what I couldn't do. They told me what I better do and what I better not do. So I went back down there and signed up. And I was gonna, I figured I'd work for 90 or 60, 90 or 120 days, something like that, and then I'd go back to retirement again. And it's the best job I ever had in my life.
How long did you work for Duke Power?
Long enough to become one of the major stockholders in Duke Energy.
Good for you. And you supervised the building of the plants there too.
No, it was a technical.
Technical.
It was anything that's technical. I supervised. The way the doors is hung, the way the exits worked, and where you got into the nuclear site and where you got out, all that kind of stuff. I was responsible for all of that.
And so how long have you been officially retired?
Well, the next day after I retired, I started cutting firewood. And when we had Hugo, the last account I had before I quit keeping count, I had sold $32,000 worth of firewood during the Hurricane Hugo. I was a lifesaver to a whole lot of people around here. A whole lot of people didn't even have water. They'd come out, I had a well. And so I don't know what happened to city water, but they didn't have enough supply.
That was a terrible time when Hurricane Hugo came through, wasn't it?
It sure was. And did you know we had an earthquake too?
Yes, I did.
Well, you know, you stack firewood, the pieces, all of mine 17 inches long. And I had 2 stacks out there, which is equivalent to a half a cord of wood. It was just demonstration. And it was stacked in 2 rows like this, going from toward the porch toward the road. And that earthquake hit. I went out there the next morning, and it separated. It went like this. Turned over.
Well, is there anything else you want to tell us about?
That's about all I know.
Okay, well thank you, I appreciate it.
Except that since I'm retired, I'm known as a wood man. I saw, split, and sell firewood.
Yeah, anybody who comes by your house can see that.
Yep. But I sell what I've got cut. I don't specialize on nobody's wood. If they want something different from what I got, they can make it themselves.
Okay, well thank you, Mr. Moore, appreciate it.